20 strange things found in food. Number 20, Nokia phone in bag of chips. Honestly, you have to wonder what goes on behind the doors of food manufacturing facilities. If what we see in movies are anything to go by, the products go through rigorous production stages to make sure that the end consumer gets nothing short of value for their money. A Wisconsin woman found a Nokia phone in a bag of chips, and you have to wonder what chain of events led to the absurd occurrence. Either quality control was sleeping on the job, or the facility needs to put an effective system in place. 19. The condom in the burger. The last thing anyone expects when digging into a delicious-looking hamburger is to take a bite of anything other than a juicy beef patty with all the trimmings. Sadly, fast food restaurants have over the years served up more than the customer's order, and in some cases, they add an entirely unusual extra something into the equation. One disappointed McDonald's patron allegedly found a condom in his Big Mac. Do not even try to imagine how the protective piece of plastic wrapping made its way to the burger. 18. Chunk of glass in baby food. While it is inexcusable how food manufacturers can let any foreign item find its way into any food item, the worst are those that end up in baby products. Brooklyn, New York parents fed their young ones some Gerber food only for the child to spit it out. At first, they thought that their child was just fussy with the feeding process until they then noticed that he was bleeding from the mouth. A closer inspection revealed that they had apparently fed a shard of glass that had been in the baby food to their young tot. Parents were outraged by the account and called for the closure of the baby food production company. Number 17. Roach in hash browns. McDonald's seems to have the worst rep when it comes to adding a little extra something in their food orders. It is a stomach-turning thought to imagine that one kid found a dead roach fried in the center of his hash browns. The sheer horror is enough to transform any fast food-loving kid into a veggie lover for an eternity. 16. Razor blade in ice cream. In another jaw-dropping incident of sharp objects finding their way in food items, a Texas woman enjoying an ice cream stumbled upon a razor blade. A much-anticipated treat could have created an unfortunate injury if she did not identify the unusual object ahead of time. To add salt to the wound, a Walmart representative from the store where she bought the ice cream just told her that they were sorry and hoped that her day would get better. We can imagine that she no longer enjoys ice cream too much. Number 15. Human skin in chicken sandwich. Finding anything other than what you expect in your food is frightening, but just imagine coming across human skin stuffed in your sandwich after taking several generous bites. A Florida man was the victim of a similar event. He found a bloody slice of human skin between the buns of his chicken sandwich. Apparently, the restaurant's manager had accidentally sliced off part of his finger, which found its way into the man's sandwich. 14. Metal pieces in donut. Gobbling down a Walmart donut landed a 6-year-old in the hospital after he ingested several sharp pieces of metal baked within the doughy treat. Characteristic of Walmart, their spokesperson said they were looking into the incident and it was unlikely that it could have happened. 13. Fecal matter in ice cream. The Australian food minister announced in 2008 that fecal matter had been identified in the chocolate gelato served by a Sydney bar. The discovery came after the pub came under scrutiny following noise complaints. Soon after, a few patrons of the establishment claimed that they became violently ill after enjoying the frozen treat. 12. Mac and cheese and nails. A woman from England sat down to enjoy a bowl of her favorite comfort food only to discover that it came fortified with too much iron. Turns out her store-bought mac and cheese came with 3 2-inch nails. She ended up swallowing one of the nails, and doctors could not remove it but wait for nature to take its natural course. 11. Tampon in steak. Disgruntled employees have been known to subject patrons' food to some absurd treatment. It is in very isolated cases, and one German tourist might have been the victim of such a situation when his $40 filet mignon came with a bloody tampon. The man had dug into the steak served by the New York's Waldorf Astoria Hotel before his meal was cut short by the unpleasant discovery. He rinsed his mouth off with a swig of brandy and went to the nearest hospital. The doctor recommended having the tampon tested for blood-borne diseases. Have you ever found something strange in your food? Take the poll to let us know. If you answered yes, then tell us about it in the comment section below. Number 10. Use Bandage in McDonald's fries. McDonald's takes it home when it comes to serving up some of the most absurd items in their food. A University of Illinois woman came across a scabby old Band-Aid in her carton of fries. It does make you wonder about the food handling standards at McDonald's. 9. Serrated knife in Subway sandwich. As astonishing as it is, a New York Subway customer found a 6-inch serrated knife in his sandwich. It could have just been a case of absent-mindedness on the part of the Subway employee who made the sandwich. The dangerous blade had been baked into the sandwich, and the guy luckily only bit a portion of the melted handle when he discovered the peculiar garnish. The man accepted a $20,000 settlement from Subway, but no amount of money can get rid of the trauma he suffered from the ordeal. 8. Bloody Taco Bell. Sometimes the red sauce that drips from your delectable treat might have a secret ingredient behind its lustrous hue. That is what a woman discovered when she fed her daughter some Taco Bell takeout. She found out that what she had thought was sauce dripping through the wrappers and bag was actually human blood. The restaurant explained that one of their employees had cut her finger and ended up bleeding all over the woman's order. The woman did not waste any time and engaged the services of a lawyer after making calls to the health department. 7. Fried chicken head. The chicken head is a delicacy in some parts of the world, but most people do not go out ordering it from a fast food restaurant. One disappointed Virginia woman found a fried chicken head in her McDonald's Mighty Wings. We can imagine that she was out of her mind discovering they got the order all wrong. She did not let it slide and went on to sue McDonald's for $100,000, despite the manager offering her 2 weeks' worth of free meals. Number 6. Syringe in Burger King breakfast. There is nothing as terrible as starting your day on an empty stomach because your breakfast sandwich came with a syringe taking your appetite away. A woman in Queens, New York suffered the fate when the sausage and egg Burger King sandwich came with the medical instrument. She chewed on the sandwich when something pierced her cheek, and that was when she discovered the syringe tip. She decided to sue the fast food giant for a whopping $11 million. 5. Banana Bunch Scorpion. While not the most outrageous of discoveries in food, a British woman discovered that a live scorpion had survived the trip home with her bunch of bananas. The poisonous arachnid managed to stay alive in the sealed bunch of bananas. Amazingly, the scorpion had somehow hitched a 5,000-mile trip from Costa Rica to end up in the woman's bunch of bananas. She took the scorpion to a nearby zoo, which took custody over the exotic 3-inch arachnid. Number 4. Bullet in hot dog. America takes a liberal approach to gun ownership, but when a bullet finds its way into your food, you would not be too happy about it. A California resident became the victim of Costco's hot dog bullet. She discovered it after biting at the hot dog and finding the 9mm bullet wedged within. Soon after, she started experiencing abdominal pains, and doctors found that she had unknowingly swallowed another live round. 3. Tooth in candy bar. How some foreign objects find their way into food items is explainable, but how can a tooth end up in a candy bar? A Texas woman discovered a human molar in her Milky Way. She took a bite of the chocolate delight only to feel something strange inside her mouth. She discovered it was a tooth that was not hers. It is difficult to imagine how someone's tooth fell out and became molded into the candy bar unnoticed. 2. Mouse in loaf of bread. Fast food restaurants are not the only culprits when it comes to serving up more than what the customer can consume. An Englishman once found a dead mouse baked inside a loaf of bread that he bought from a local store. The bread makers, Hovis Premier Foods, had to part with 17,000 pounds, $23,839, reimbursing customers who unfortunately bought the batch of bread. Number 1. Lizard in kale bag. A Trader Joe's shopper got a surprise in the bag of kale she grabbed from the grocery store. The ready-to-cook bag of kale came with a dead lizard inside. She was gracious enough to toss the bag of kale in the freezer as she waited for Trader Joe's to get back to her about returning the product. It turned out that her kale in the bag incident was not an isolated incident, and another TJ shopper reportedly found a 2-feet-long piece of hair in her ice cream sandwich. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that subscribe button. Coming up next, awesome facts about bears. Also have the longest tongues, with some measuring up to 9.8 inches in length. Panda bears hold on to bamboo stalks with the help of their unique extra thumb. 16. Endangered species. Bears in general are endangered because of the widespread abuse